Welcome back to the It Girl Playbook, and welcome back to one of our favorite series, It Girl Lessons from It Girls, where we explore the allure of some of the most iconic It Girls and see what it is that makes everyone so obsessed with them. Because by better understanding what makes them so magnetic, we can be inspired to adopt some of their most attractive qualities and values into our lives so that we can level up as well. And so, with that said, in today's episode, we will be learning from the Beth Harmon from the Queen's Gambit and learn how intelligence can make you magnetic and the power of having an obsession. Let's start with lesson number 1. Intelligence is magnetic. Beth never downplays her intellect to make others feel comfortable. In fact, she was more than happy to play against a room full of men and beat every single one of them. There was a scene from a movie with Marilyn Monroe where, in a conversation with someone, they complimented her for being smart, and she agrees, but also points out that not many people like that. She makes the point that yes, she is smart, but she downplays it to achieve more in life and only reveals it when the time calls for it. Paris Hilton is a great real-life example of this as well. She allowed the world to label her as a ditzy socialite while building one of the most memorable and iconic personal brands and entire empires behind that. She lets herself continuously be underestimated, and I think that pretty much sums up a lot of the situations that we may find ourselves in on a day-to-day basis where we feel like we have to not necessarily cater to someone's ego, but be aware of it and to be mindful of it when we're navigating social environments. In the 48 Laws of Power, this is actually the first law, which says to never outshine the master. Marilyn Monroe, in her role, proved that, and in a way, Paris Hilton played that same strategy of letting the general public think they're right. But what Beth showed us is something much more unconventional and therefore refreshing. If you cannot outshine the master, then you become the master. And that's exactly what she did on the board over and over again with every game and with every win. And that is exactly what made her so successful, both in the show and what made her so attractive as a character. And we can use that success as motivation and as proof that we don't have to water down our intelligence, our ambition, or any part of us to quote unquote make it in the world. Yes, the character that Marilyn Monroe played and the real life example of Paris Hilton are great examples of people who were able to achieve success by strategically playing into a role. But Beth teaches us that that isn't the only way. You can also achieve success and make it in life by taking pride in your ambition and in your intelligence. Yes, when you're not catering and being mindful of people's egos in social situations, even Beth met her fair share of people who doubted her in the process, but that made the recognition at the end and with each and every win that much more rewarding. And that is a lesson that you and I can take and apply into our lives as well. Lesson number 2, don't apologize for your obsession. Beth's obsession with chess borders on unhealthy at times, but that tunnel vision is also what made her unbeatable. The very first prize money that she earned from winning a tournament went towards buying a chess set, and the money after that, more chess books and magazines. She proves that being unapologetically obsessed with your craft is what separates good from mastery. I feel like a lot of the times people may say that there needs to be work-life balance, that being obsessed with something is unhealthy, but the truth of the matter is being somewhat obsessed is better than having no passions at all. There's that saying that in order to become a master at something, you need to dedicate 10,000 hours to it, and the only way to devote that amount of time and effort is to be obsessed with that craft. If you have something you love, let yourself be consumed by it. Mastery requires devotion, and devotion requires not caring if people think you're weird for it. But beyond obsession with the goal of mastering something or achieving a goal, obsession also provides us that joy of having something to look forward to. There's this book that I recently read called This Is Not a Book About Benedict Cumberbatch, which basically tells a memoir of a new mother who found her passion in, you guessed it, Benedict Cumberbatch during a time where she felt like she had lost a sense of self until she found found her passion. And over time, she comes to realize that it wasn't necessarily Benedict Cumberbatch that she was so obsessed with. It was the joy of having a passion again. Because passions are what makes life, well, passionate. It adds color and it adds depth to the life that we live in. It's the thing we look forward to after a long day, and it gives us that gift of having something or someone to look forward to. And that's exactly what Beth's obsession with chess gave her. Beyond the trophies, beyond the prize money and the recognition and the fame, chess was the thing that anchored her. It gave her a reason to keep going, and it provided her with a sense of purpose when everything else in life felt uncertain. For Beth, her obsession with chess wasn't just about mastery, it was about meaning. And so taking that and applying it to your own life, find the thing that lights you up and allow yourself to be a little bit obsessed with it. Whatever it is for you, whether it's a hobby like running, painting, baking, or even obsessing over a TV show, allow yourself to lean into it. Let it be the thing that makes your life feel a little bit richer. And lesson number 3 that I wanted to highlight is the art of trusting yourself. One of my favorite character developments for Beth was at the end, where she chose to complete her game with the chess grandmaster without her usual aids like the pill, and chose to trust herself, because up until that point she relied on that aid so much that she thought it was the pills that carried her through those tournaments and gave her the trophies. But that last game was proof that that wasn't the case at all. It has always been her all along, and I think that holds so much value because it sends a powerful message that sometimes we think we owe our value to something external. We think we matter because of a very prestigious job title, a relationship, a certain skill, talent, or even our physical appearances. That's why sometimes after a relationship ends, after we experience something like getting let go at a job, gaining or losing a few pounds, we take that to the extremes of losing our entire sense of worth because we thought that that was where our value came from. I'm not saying that those things don't matter, and I'm not discounting those experiences for you, especially if it means a lot to you, but what I am saying is that they're a part of you, not the entirety of you, because the fact of the matter is, it's been you all along. Beth showed us what happens when you strip all of that away. You realize the strength was always within you. And so, yes, you may not have that relationship, that job title, or what it is that you no longer have that gave you a lot of pride, but because you still have you still have the ability to replace it, and you have the power to even replace it with something better. Just give yourself that strength to trust yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. Beth Harmon teaches us that intelligence is magnetic, obsession fuels mastery and joy, and ultimately, the power to succeed has always been within us. Lean into your passions, unapologetically pursue what excites you, and allow yourself to trust yourself. Your value isn't defined by external validation. Remember, it's been you all along. Intelligence, obsessions, skills, they're all powerful, but they don't define your worth. Again, they're a part of you. They're not the entirety of you. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out the It Girl newsletter for episode recaps, to join in on the conversation, and to help decide on what to explore next. I hope to see you in our next episode, and in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye!